Sanbolan, welcome to podcast with Pepe Nyoga. Today we are very honored ukuba nobaba wethu uBishop M, that means Michael Radebe. Radebe. Yeah. Abanye bathi Radebe, abanye bathi Radebe. Kunjani baba?
Ngiyaphila kunjani?
Ngiyaphila. Thank you very much. Uthatha isikhathi sakho. Siyawazi ukuthi indoda ehlala busy, but nje siyabonga ukuthi uthatha isikhathi sakho ube nathi.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Bonga mina futhi bonga.
Siyabonga. Before ngibuze ama questions, can you just introduce yourself ukuthi ubani and ukhonzaphi? That's it, then sobe sisaqhubeka.
Okay. Mina ngingu Michael wabaHadebe. Ngikhulela khona la eSinawane njengoba sesesowethu manje. Nginsizwa nje khona la eSowethu eSinawane, yakhulela khona la eSinawane. Miracle baby ngokuzalwa vele ngoba siphuma eBhara sonke. Ngikhulela la eSowethu, ngafunda khona la eSowethu from eSinawane, ngaze ngayoqedelela le emafori Mphahlele khona la indawo semlapho somewhere khona lapho. Emafori Mphahlele, matric yami ngayiqedela lapho, so ngokukhula ngikhulela khona la eSowethu. Engahamba discussion during those riot times. Ngayofunda eVaal, but that was only for 3 years, and then I came back and ngaqhubeka ngafunda la eSowethu. So nguMichael wabaHadebe ngokuzalwa, ngizalelwa khona la eSinawane. Ngokusonta aqala ukusonta vele khona ekhaya till today ngisasonta khona. Isonto lethu likhona la ekhaya eSinawane 1824. Isonto lethu the Christian New Salem Church. Ngakhulela umkhulu wami kuyibishop khona uNdevus Bomvu. Owashiya ngo-1975 when I was only 2 years old. But then ngokuhamba kwesikhathi it has never changed ukuthi ngiphume esontweni ngengesonto wendawo ever since ngikhulela esontweni eSalema lapho ngisahambe khona namanje ngaqala phansi ngisesomntwana khona up until today where I'm holding the highest position as a bishop.
No, thanks. No, ngiyabonga. Ubaba ushadile?
Ngishadile.
Nabantwana?
Yes.
Bawungaki?
2 girls.
2 girls.
Yeah.
Did they attend the church service?
All the time, from the day they were born.
Wow.
To date. One thing about I was blessed enough ukuthi ngashada nonkosikazi ukuthi respected the fact ukuthi ekhaya kuyasontwa, so we made sure ukuthi abantwana bethu they've always been at church from basesebancane to date. So akekho umntwana ofostwa ngesontweni kwami. Masiphuma nje sesontweni, it's just a breeze.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. So how do you nature abantwana bakho ukuthi bakhonze? Okay, bakhonze because right bangakhonza kwenye indawo no problem, but nje wenza kanjani ukuthi nje bahlale nje enkonzweni because abantwana bamanje if ngama 2000 but nje bonke abantwana uyazi abanye bayibuka lento leyo yokukhonza or ukukholwa kuyenye into bona bayithathele enye yabo. How do you nature them?
Well, I think it started when I got married, when my kids were young. I remember one day, when things were not going right esontweni, and now I wasn't, because there was a time where I wasn't part of the church, and I had my things focused on making money, and I was all over the show. So I remember my wife saying one day, my spirit is like akukho right. So how about in your sonta somewhere sometimes then that made me feel that I'm actually failing in Bonzo Yasekhaya, mina personally. So I did not say anything at that time. In such a way, I remember my wife went to a Grace Bible Church to go visit sometimes. And then I had to go back to Esontweni. Although ngabuyelanga kamnandi Esontweni, but ngathi ekubuyeleni kwami Esontweni, from that day things changed till today. So my family, we went to church as a family from that day, which was, if I remember very well, it was year 2005, and things changed for better from that day to date. So for the past 18 years, I've made a commitment to every Sunday. I don't even worry even about my laptop. I never open my laptop or anything. We just all go to church. And then that has changed our lives drastically in such a way that today I can't believe where we are because of that decision.
All right, good answer. And that means
yes,
focus family.
Yes.
Okay, sibuyele backwards just a little bit. Ukuthi ukhule esimene esinjani, isimo besinjani ekhaya mawukhula until uthatha inkonzo seriously or until uke ubhabhadiswa. Cela usithathe nje usibekele ngojeni le ukuthi ibinjani.
Well, like I said, there's a story as Mama when I was a year old. I was in and out of hospital. My whole life, they never thought I was gonna make it. I was just skin and bone. And then, because I went to hospitals too many times. In fact, I think I spent my whole life as Beja. So, 1974, May 31st, which was New Year's Eve. 1974 New Year's Eve, Margo Kulis Nawan, there was a which 12 o'clock episode, okay. So my New Year's Day, so everybody would be out for Shama cricket that day. And then my uncle, who was kind of a prophet, came and Marafiga in what's in Michael, it's New Year's Day. It's New Year's Eve. So you decide if you want to stay with us or you want to go. So Mangamunyaga today, I'm sure you choose. So Umamami was very upset with my uncle. Very upset. He left. After Sacramento, he left. And then, so Ngamsheli no mama. And Ugogo watched my guys Malumam said that Popam was very angry as well. And then, so that was one of the very tense moments towards 12 o'clock a car. You tell my who's so shy at 12 o'clock. Yes. The guy arrived, my uncle, what my figure kaya, what my car looks in the layo, and I also cried. So, you tell my oh, thanks. We'll choose and then everybody was relieved when he said that. And believe you me, one tata one lula, and then one years Busisa, and I've never seen Espedlela ever since.
Since that day?
I've never set my foot Espedlela ever since. And the whole year I was in and out of hospital. In fact, I was just skin and bone. Everybody thought I have never seen a hospital ever since. So that's why I'm always kind of saying I'm a miracle baby. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Isimo sasenjani nje
kukhula kwakho? Isimo sasekhaya, umkhulu wami is a bishop. bekuyisimo sokuthi every Sunday ekhaya kuyakhiwa khabo mama bayi-10. So njengoba kukhiwa wonke umuntu esontweni, you can imagine bekukhona abantwana abakhaba yi-10 nabazukulu. So every Sunday kwakiwe esontweni, isonto ezusiye ekhaya kungapha, and then isonto is just on the other street. So bekwazi ukuthi that house is locked on Sundays, wonke umuntu ngale kulesa straat esontweni. So sikhule ekhaya nje wonke umuntu esonta, wonke umuntu esonta, ngisho nalabo malume bami nababe bayidlela into zabo, kodwa Sunday kiwe sonto
nabo Sunday nabo basibhala
kuwa esontweni. So umkhulu wami I think instilled that kakhulu esontweni in such a way ukuthi that was one of the reasons izinto zami zathi mase seziqala ungahambi kahle, when I was really working hard. The first thing that I thought which I had lost, because that's one thing sometimes that you have to look at where did I go wrong. I found out I think I built as I was growing up now as a young man, I started focusing on building myself up and then distancing myself from isonto. So isonto bese kuyindawo yokuvakasha, bengasaseyindawo yokuya full time every Sunday, up until the time arrived. And that time arrived in 2005. But growing up all the time, I grew up as Ontweni, and I grew up as a young businessman who was always working, who was always chasing money. And luckily, 2005, I was recalled back to Eswatini, and I've never missed a Sunday in Eswatini ever since. Yeah.
Okay, then can you take us journey yakho ke so uqala nje manje uba serious, let's say so papatiso ibinjani nje journey yakho before and after so papatiso?
You know, the sad story about me is that azangipapatiswa leyo ukuthi ngaye emanzini mase sengina 16 ukuthi ngizopapatiswa and then go to esontweni. That was a time when I was lost esontweni. So I got lost esontweni as a young man when I was in the ages of about 15 or so, because of esontweni bese ngiyavakasha. I think the biggest thing that changed my life was when I was 13 years old. I had to leave Johannesburg because of my riots. That was in 1986. I was 12, and then I had to go ngiyohlala eVaal Reefs because ngifunda khona. Then I came back esengimdala. But during that time, iyo leyo ukuthi ngingasahlali la sengihlala le eVaal Reefs alone, away from the family. So that actually contributed in building a gap yokuthi ngingasabi sesontweni every Sunday. So I was away. By the time ngibuya sengizohlala ngapha in the 90s, ngathola ukuthi yabona nje nasesontweni kuhlakazekile kakhulu, so it was okay ukuya nokungayi. And so those were the times where isonto I think ilelathu kulahleka kimi. But because of inkonzo that was instilled in me as a young man, at least the behavior was correct. I never got lost to drinking and drugs and all those things. Because of inkonzo, yeah.
Okay. Then last thing say Salema ne endlini yenkonzo.
Yes.
Ngabona something like EJ. Elibhala ukuthi established in 1935.
Yes.
That means in 88 years.
Yes.
Ngempela?
Yes.
Can you take us journey ukuthi nje obana aba establish iSalema until Candelaria building? Can you take us journey knowledge yaziyo?
Okay. Even though I don't have the full knowledge,
yeah.
because izinto zasekhaya, they're not actually written down, where you gather facts by being stories that you've been told. Ekhaya, what happened was inkonzo yayisenyonini.
Okay.
Enyonini, that is why igqoka cishe njengesakhe.
Yeah, njena
So enyonini ukhona umkhulu Luvumo owayese for Christ. Umkhulu Luvumo uye owaphuma enyonini, wathi mayephuma enyonini weza ngapha wazoqamba iSalema. Umqambi weSalema ngo-1935 umkhulu Luvumo. Yes. Ekhishwa ukuthi enyonini ubuholi bebungaphumi emndenini. It doesn't matter ukuthi abantu abasontayo khona ba talented kangakanani, but ubuholi abuphumi emndenini. Umholi webandla uzohlala esemndenini wamntwana. So and then waphuma waqamba iSalema. And then eqambeni kwakhe iSalema waba nalento ukuthi eSalema akusho ukuthi ozotake over from lapho fanele ube umuntu wakalufuna. Kwakunomkhulu wami ubaba umkhulu wami umkhulu Ngoba yeah, bebambiza ngokuthi Ngoba.
Okay.
Ngoba ukuhadelela ngoba wayethanda ukuthi mayakhuluma nje athi ngoba manje babiza ngokuthi umkhulu Ngoba.
Oh, umkhulu Ngoba.
Yeah, ngoba wayethanda ukuthi ngoba ngoba kwenze njani. So umkhulu Ngoba wayenesithembu ke so wayenabantwana abaningi nje. So umkhulu Luvumo wayesekathanda ukuzosontisa kwakhe because yena bekanomndeni nje omkhulu. So inkonzo yaseSalema yafika kanjalo ngekhaya. Yathola umkhulu wami khona ekhaya lapho ke emaplazini eStanderton. And then umkhulu wami wamigrate from eStanderton ke ukuza la eGoli, and then wafika lana umkhulu wayenekholi yakhe yamalahle la eSinawana. Wafika lana wasebenza ngamalahle, waze wavulela abafowabo amakholi yakhe. Wathenga ama-truck, wayesebenza, he was a well-established businessman. In such a way ukuthi in ngama-70s, and then they came together and said ukuthi awakhiwe isonto. Even though everybody was reluctant, he went full steam, wakha isonto. Well, people were contributing, but from what I hear, he's the biggest contributor because he made sure that the project went ahead because he was a successful businessman in Amalahle. And even though people were contributing towards the church, but he was the biggest contributor. And Walaki Sonto, 1974, Walqeda. Uchema Walqeda, 1974. Ukuthi bamgcobeleni ukuthi abe bishop, I'm not sure about that. But Walqeda 1974 as a bishop, Walufula, and then in 1975 he passed away. Then
How?
He only lived Oksonti Salapayana for less than a year because of Ukulvula Wakisonto. It was 1974, but after that he got sick. Kakhulu in such a way ukuthi nasekushoneni kwakhe besekahamba esibhedlela eThekwini. Ekushoneni kwakhe ushona endleleni ebuyayo from eThekwini. Ahamba nesitimela. Washona endleleni.
May his soul rest in peace, man.
Yes.
But he's the man owenza sure ukuthi isakhiwo siyangena.
Yes.
And I remember mangenza research, ne?
Yes.
Ngibonile ibuilding endala.
Yes.
Ukuthi binjani.
Yes.
Then ni renovate nini ke?
2005 when I came back esontweni. I found the business in a very bad shape. Because of after Mkhulu sekashonile ngo-1975, umfowabo took over isonto, and then in such a way ukuthi there were also disputes, and then one of the things that contributed to ukuthi abantu bahlakazeke is because of ugogo waphuma esontweni ngo-1980. but azange aphume eSalema, so besesesontele ekhaya
Oh.
16, and then that was 1980.
Oh.
And then up until sibuyele esontweni back ngoyear 2000. Sibuyiselwa, in fact we went back in 1999. Sibuyele esontweni ngo-1999, which was almost 20 years later.
Yeah.
Sibuyele esontweni, and then of course we found a building in a very bad shape. Basically around way cool.
Seriously?
Yes, it was really bad.
Oh.
It was really bad. So mase sesibuyile obviously azange sifike sithi nabantu we here to renovate isonto.
Yes.
Sibuyile then saqhubeka sasonta sonke. But when we took decisions ukuthi manje we want ukuthi imikhukhu iphume esontweni, isonto licleanwe kabusha, kubuyele isonto libe right. Along the way nje we started having differences nabantu, then baphuma ke. But yeah, we went full steam in fixing the church up until it's in the state that is in now.
Okay. So yeah, ngiyabona i-uniform ifana neka kaNkonyane. Ilento le nami ngisitsheleyo ukuthi shuthi kahle kahle iphuma khona kaNkonyane. So ngase ngaba ne question because mangibuka sometimes ngibona intambo ingena ngapha ka left. Ka left ne?
Yeah.
So ngaba ne question yalokho ukuthi ke why intambo ingena ka left?
Sasifaka zothu.
On fans wethu. Oh, should laba bayifake ku left is just bebezenzela.
Yeah.
Yona nje intambo if uyazi mhlawumbe laphendula umuntu kaNkonyane if uyazi wena ukuthi iminani
Intambo.
Yeah.
It's just a tie.
Just a tie.
Yeah, a tie just just to make it intambo yabagcotshwa. In fact, because of uma sigqokile siyabo baba sonke siyafana. So we but ke abagcotshwa yibo ke abathola intambo starting from kuba vangeli ukuze kuphuma ku bishop ke
yibo
abafana intambo. Yeah.
So yeah, all right. Then wabuya 2005.
Yes.
Can you take us the whole team le ukuthi mawubuya about title yakho ngokubuya usushadile? Yes, usushadile. Then title yakhe ehamba kanjani until now?
Mabuya 2005 ngabuya bengasina sesontweni obviously because ngabe ngasina sesontweni.
Yes.
And it had nothing to do with umuntu wakadebe because of umkhulu loku bishop.
Yes.
The Salema, the title as you said, it's got nothing to do with family inheritance. So yeah, ngiyengazi buyela kahle 2005 semangibuyele esontweni 2005 bengiyilunga nje, but because of my role and being very active esontweni bangigcoba ukuthi ngibe umshumayeli. And then ngaba umshumayeli ebandleni. I've been umshumayeli for quite some time, and the only time la I had ukuthi ngithathe khona ititle yobuvangeli is when umfundisi wayesiphethe ngaleso sikhathi leso, which was ubaba Tisha Khade left esontweni, washiya nje, so ngasanga umfundisi ngana next, and then I had ukuthi ngithathe inkonzo yobuvangeli ngizokwazi ukuthi ngenze umsebenzi wenkonzo wherever ngcwaba orini. Then I worked as umvangeli for another 5 years, and then up until they decided ukuthi kungaba kuhle ukuthi, because after that we finally ngithathe as umvangeli.
Yes.
Kumele mangikhuphuka lapho ngithathe isitulo sobudikoni.
Yeah.
But because of the void ukuthi bengenamfundisi, and umsebenzi womfundisi uyadingeka esontweni, thina ziningi izinto ezingenziwa abavangeli nabadikoni njengokushadisa. So they had ukuthi bangithathe bangigcobe ukuthi ngijambe ngibe umfundisi.
Okay.
And bangigcoba ke ngaba umfundisi, and then yeah, ngasebenza as umfundisi for quite a while up until amasekethe wonke lawa complain ukuthi asina bishop ngoba hey sashona lo bishop owayesekasiphethe la uBishop Halile wathi ekushoneni kwakhe sengohle ukuthi I'll think about it, I'll remember. But we sisebenzile isikhathi eside nomama wethu asibambele uLady Bishop unkosikazi wakhe.
Oh, uye bekabambile.
Yes, we kept isonto together. Although she had challenges ukuthi abanye abantu befelt ukuthi fanele kugcotshwe uBishop fast and because of ama direction bo-appointe kubo ukuthi agcobeni uBishop fast ukuze ukwazi ukuthi icobeke bona. And then the church felt no, we don't have someone qualifying anytime soon. And then sasebenza kakhulu isonto abambile as a Lady Bishop despite all the challenges up until lona isonto naye she was complaining ukuthi no, it's time ukuthi sigcobe uBishop. And then they kind of twisted my arm ukuthi I must take up the role of Bishop. I welcomed it though I was not ready, but yeah, I welcomed it. I feel what I'm still young though.
Yo, so bagcoba nini?
Inkonzo yokugcotshwa it's still gonna happen. Ukuthi inkonzo yokugcotshwa, but ukuthi ngithatha uBishop I took it last year.
Oh, last year.
Yeah, I took it last year in June, and then it was confirmed in December because of Uketwa Nesnoti, which is June. So Banketa last year, June, which was June 2022. So December 2022, then they confirmed Uti I'm now the Bishop in Gonzo, and then this year they finally said in Gonzo corner, but because of all the things we decided to let's let it slide and we'll deal with it next year. So next year we still have to have Gonzo ordained.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, no problem. So let's shift kancane ke manje ke indabeni zenkonzo ke. Umholi ubaba makuyi Monday after Sunday. Uphila ngani wenzani?
Well, Nindo Tematasa, as you say. But first things first, I am employed by City Power. My title keeps changing every time, but yeah, now they call my department, because it was renewable energy, now it has changed again from independent power producers specialist.
Oh.
So I'm a specialist now. So we'll be dealing with renewable energy that is actually coming into the grid for the future. Because City Power is not only looking at taking electricity from Eskom now. So we're also looking at self-generation using gas generators. And then we're also looking at putting up solar all over Joburg and allowing people to feed into the grid with feed-in tariffs. And the one that really puzzled me was in Joburg, City Power is also interested in buying wind electricity. But through wheeling, they say they can even generate in the Karoo. But we'll have a wheeling process which they will feed into City Power via other grids and we'll pay them via Eskom, but it's a complicated process.
Yeah.
But it's there. And we've been put as specialists to look into all the solar, wind, gas, energy that will be coming into City Power. So during the week I'm employed by City Power.
Okay.
Now as a specialist. And then I also look after the family business. And our family business, we've got quite a number of things.
Before Siala, so if you question like City Power, I heard with City Power na sezo or sezo ningana na Eskom or sezo zimela isinto kanjalo because I heard the kanjalo angazi. Well,
when it comes to those decisions, I don't want to lie. those things are political. So I never know anything.
Okay.
I never know anything. The only thing that I know which Eskom is big.
Yes.
City Power is only looking at Johannesburg. Eskom, as you know, it's where we buy our electricity from, because City Power doesn't generate electricity. Eskom does, so we buy electricity from Eskom. Although we've got small power station like a Kelvin power station, but it's not enough to feed anything.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So the part last year when I was Eskom, I go in.
All right. Okay, then we can continue with my business.
Well, ekhaya we've got Mkhulule ekhaya vele la kunama business khona where umkhulu wami had a whole yard. At some stage we bought shops, and then we've got taxis, we've got tankers, fuel tankers, we've got shops, and now we've got properties, rental properties, like a kind of business. And
it's a business.
Yes,
a family business.
Yes, a family business as a kaya. So even from a young age, my first relationship with money, as a 6-year-old, my first relationship with money was that we give people what they want and they will pay you for it.
Oh.
So at the age of 6, emakholi yathi besikuneenkuni namalahle. So ngangithanda ukuba ngapha semalahleni mina abantu abazothenga amagogoko amalahle babalayishela igogoko lamalahle then banginikeza imali and then nginikeza ugogo. So ugogo mangisebenze kahle, she will give me something.
Wow.
So that was my first relationship with money, and I realized that should never stop. As long as you have anything to give to people, they will pay you for it. And the smile that they pay you with is what makes the money worth it. So I've always loved to provide people with anything that will make them pay me with a smile. So that's why I've never stopped.
All right. So who wanna maintain a family business?
Well, actually, it's luckily my wife has never been employed. In fact, Sati Maskala Shata, she was working and she was employed at that time. Then we felt the money she brings home is not worth the hassle. And all those things. So we decided, no man, why don't we start something of our own and you will look after that. So she's the one that's looking after everything. Yeah, but with my help, of course. But she's the one that's looking after everything. So which became worth her while because she's kind of retired from having a boss. She's a boss of her own. Yeah. So she loves what she's doing, and I'm happy about that because that kind of keeps things together, I think.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. What is your downfall if ikhona mhlambe oyeke yenzeke empilweni yakho ongayisipota ukuthi yazi my downfall was this?
Well, I'm not too sure about if that has been my downfall. Because from those things I actually learned a lot. When I was young, when I was in grade 11, which was standard 9 by then, I started myself a business which was Namshuti Tombe, and it went very well. In such a way that I started buying other things, video camera, sound system, and money was good. But when I passed matric, my dream has always been to go to university, to go do electrical engineering. And then when that couldn't happen because there was no one to fund me, I never thought I would self-fund, even though I was making money. The party as a young man, because at that time I was only 20 years old, I never thought I could still work self-fund, because everybody told me once I go to university I would have to go stay there, and I cannot be doing business because umsebenzi wase university mningi. So I only worked for a year, and then I was doing good money though. And then up until my uncle said, you know what, Asambe your private business, where we opened up a shop.
Okay.
And then we went there, we opened up a shop. That was 1995, and I worked with them, and we're very happy. We're making money. 96, Sabano Ngazwani. That was the time there. 1996, I actually went to City Power to actually go look for a job. And using the monies that I raised with my uncles, Lobasaki Toro, I bought myself a taxi because Benga Service.
Wow.
And then
it's your first taxi.
It's my first taxi.
Wow.
Then I and at the same time looking for a job. And then because of insizwa lapha emateksini zazithi mazengibheka zithi awembhaka ngathi wena awubelongi la emateksini awubelongi la emateksini nangendlela okhuluma ngayo akusho ukuthi fanele ube la emateksini. So which was true, because 3 months later I left them emateksini, and then ngabuyela back to ngayosebenza nabomalume, because we kind of sorted out our differences by then. But then, by the time I'm at City Power, they were sending me a letter giving me a job. And then, after a discussion with them, then we agreed with some of weekends. During the week, I can go to City Power. One of the things that actually was very attractive with City Power was that the first thing that they promised me, more January, they actually sending me to school.
Oh.
And that was 4 years later, because I passed my matric in 92, but in 97, that was my first time to actually go to university. But that time, when I had an option to go to a university than a technical tech, because we were on an apprenticeship. They said, if you want to go to university, then we cancel the apprenticeship. You're going to be an engineer, but you're not going to get a salary. You're going to get a buzzer. So we'll pay for your tuition and your school, your rest. Yeah. And then obviously those want a stipend or not, I'm not too sure about it. And then but if you go to Technicon, we'll give you a salary. We'll pay for everything and still give you a salary. And then I was like, that no, Technicon. So I chose West Technicon at that time, which was 5 years later. That was the only time that I actually went back to school. So that 4 years that I never went to school. By the time in Figure, Evans Tech, the guys that passing up or the matric, we were pretty. We graduate when I was doing my first year. But yeah, that's kind of a downfall at the time. But during those 4 years, I actually learned a lot that I'm still keeping with me to date, because that's where I learned how to run shops. That's why we still have a shop today. That's where I learned to run taxis. That's why we still have taxis today, Kaya. And I've learned a lot in terms of investing our money in revenue generating assets. So that's why today we've got revenue generating assets in Kaya.
Okay. Okay, so ngiyabuzwa many types of business.
Yes.
Then usithola ngesikhathi sakho nefamily.
The nice thing about a business is it's not a self-employment. The difference between the two is that the businesses run themselves. Self-employment, I was going to say to you, I've got a second job where I'm actually hands-on on it. So I do not have a second job. We just have businesses. They self-run themselves. we just ekhaya, we're just getting the revenue, and we keep investing that revenue on more revenue generating assets.
Yo, shoot Gamma, thanks to Umkulu, ne?
Yes.
Ngoba uye lo wanifaka la.
Yes.
Wow.
So the time when by 8 o'clock I'm sleeping. Not Gucci, I'm going to bed, 8 o'clock or so. 8 o'clock I'm sleeping. 8 in your poop.
Yo.
Every day.
Then when I'm a business as generator, you want to sell.
Yes.
Yipi organization around church or Oguyu.
Okay. I've never wanted to join organizations for longest of times because of I felt Gucci, I have a lot of work as I'm doing and not during the week. But kwagcina kufike iZPC nomzala wami.
Okay.
Then I went to umholi wayo, which was Archbishop Mncube. Then I sat with him and said, yazi indaba zama-organization angizithandi
yes.
because I have a lot of work esontweni, so lezi zinto zoloko ngihambelana nabantu and enye into, I'm very critical of things, so what would be the advantage for me to join ZPC? What he told me is what sits with me today, and I'm glad I did. What he told me was that now you will be exposed to everything, good and bad. But the good thing about it is that you will learn something.
Wow.
So trust me, I've learned a lot.
Since
joining ZPC, I have learned a lot in such a way. But man, as soon as in Yahamba, office was something that I never thought I would do. Senya bahambela manje, senya hamba general street benye, eThekwini where Bishop Matsimela bebamnikeza iziqo zakhe zobudokotela khona. I was there. So senya bahambela
Bishop Mathebula, ne?
Yeah, Mathebula.
Yes. Mathebula, yes, Mathebula.
Yeah. So bebamnikeza iziqo zakhe zobudokotela khona. Yeah. So I was there, and I had questions as well. Why would somebody do they need ubudokotela in this day and age with theology? And from what they explained, I realized indeed you do. Indeed you do. Because just like I said now, questions can't yet ufunde everything, so that you can properly select what you think is right. And the qualification will always come in handy, even in a work environment. Because of the qualifications that he had, they actually gave him a position about chaplain, and that actually opened a whole lot of doors for him. So as a chaplain, so he was no longer an ordinary soldier, so it took him places. So yes, I've actually learned a lot with the PC, and the one biggest thing that I also liked about them is that they are in line. I became part of Inkokeli Corner, which is the program Esiza Abantwana, that all teenagers, whether passing metric or passing metric, just last week, during the week, Umshana Wami that did not pass metric, she was graduating in one of the colleges, La Emidonens, La bekafunda khona ukuthunga, and now sekayakwazi ukuthunga, and she got a diploma. So siyabonga kuNkokheli. So there's a lot that I've learned, and at the end of the day, it put me in a position where I could call abantwana besesontweni bayise kunkokheli besihlele nabo nenkokheli during this year, helping them khona esontweni. Sinawane where we're helping them apply kuma universities nakuma colleges, where they were also encouraging kids to go to TVET colleges.
Yes.
They can go to universities, they can go, because education is vast. Nalabo abahlulekile bayabatshela ukuthi ukungaphasi umatric it's not the end of the world.
Yes.
We've got programs. Bana njengamanje bana program yama teenagers that dropped out of school because of pregnancies. So there's a program where those kids are being funded to go back to school full time. They're being funded, they get a bursary, they even get a salary to go back to school full time, and that's been done by a law firm. So if they want to study law, they can even fund them to go through university and carry on with their studies. So ukujoyina kwami ZPC has actually been a positive. I don't see any negative, and I'm glad I joined them. And nokuba iphathi enkokheli kubo has made me very happy, and I'm a very active member manje ku ZPC, of which I never thought I would have been.
All right, I remember last interview for the ZPC. You mentioned there's things as a concern. So
Yes.
what is the contribute we ebandleni lakho?
From ngathi ebandleni ngithanda everyone from the toddlers to gogo. The young kids, I was disappointed in Jinamaja this year because they took them on an outing. Abantwana, but kunabantwana bebasele. So until beginning of the year, we have to redo that again because they took them to Pretoria, they went to the zoo.
Wow.
But you are that was because I was busy with something. The way I don't care whether Mali or what or Mfuna every time. I have this motto in everything that we do. Umuntu phambili imali muva. So mawuna imali, you want to be part of us.
Wow.
Mawuna imali, you still want to be part of
Yes.
us. So esontweni in terms of who can afford or who can't. So everybody is always there. So that is why they have to redo that trip yabantwana where bayibasala abanye abantwana. Because they never told me ukuthi every kid was there.
Oh.
So I love kids. So that's the kids from 1 to 12 years. And then basically abantwana that are 13, which is our youth, from 13 to 30. 30 obviously, so
Yes.
13 to 30, that's where our youth is kind of, actually 13 to 29, because once over 30 is a kid. And so all those kids, all I want for them right now is their time. So I want them to have a better future. So I work with those kids. So I'm kind of like that uncle that the first time,
Wow.
every time when you see that uncle, he's gonna ask you about how are you doing at school?
Yeah.
Do you have a license? Because I want every kid to have a license. It's
Sure.
okay. I'm like, do you have a license? How's going at school? If Mtwana, we are short and money registration in school, we will make sure they get them. I come to another just because of Kunanta short and eyes with high school, we'll make sure Mtwana is there. No matter short and money rest, we pay for it to make sure that kid is there. So from the ages of 13 to 29, my take is that I want a better future for those kids. The failure, it must be something that I do not know about. It's not something that I know about, I did not engage.
Wow.
It must be something that I have never been told about, I don't know about it. Because wonke umntwana engimbonayo esontweni, I want to know what is going on. And the only time where I'm happy is if it's going the right way. If it's not going the right way, I'm involved.
Wow, that is wonderful. So the question efikayo kimi ethi, is a department na ebandleni esotha abantwana ngalo nto leyo, or imali iphume epocketeni kuwe nenza njani mufika lapho?
Well, it really doesn't matter. Ikona, yes, esontweni we have money. Esontweni, I won't lie, we do. But it doesn't matter. I'm one person, I don't care about the money esontweni. All I care about is the future Mtwana to be in the right place.
Yeah.
So if I have to fund it from my own pocket, so be it. I never worry about it. Yes, kunabakhokheli esontweni, abakhokheli there's umsebenzi wabo lo ukubhekelela ukuthi abantwana baye ema-university, abantwana baya, yes. And so far I'm so happy to say with esontweni, when we started this thing there were no kids at university. Actually there was one, but it wasn't our choice. University, and then now because of us,
Yes.
now we've got 10 kids at university.
Serious?
Yes.
Wow.
With the potential of another 10 kids, then another 5 kids that can actually get in this year, which are doing well.
Wow.
We're doing our best to make sure that kids have a better future. May it be education, may it be to start something that they want to do, may it be giving them tools like a license. That's where I get involved. But the biggest focus is angifuni ukubona umntwana between the ages of 13 to 30 ongafundi, ongekho in the higher learning, ongekho in the high school, ongekho in the higher learning institutions, who's not employed. I don't want to see those kids. I want to see them having something that they're doing between the ages of 13 to 30. They must rather be at high school,
Yes.
higher learning, some kind of a program, and doing something, must be employed. Then I'm happy, then my job is done.
Oh, yazi, ayinezumsebenzi omuhle. What are you
Thanks.
doing, guys? You have to put flowers and something. No, doing a wonderful one. Because kwamanye amabandla, you see umuntu nemali, yes uyakwenza lokho, but omunye umuntu usuka afuna imajority ibe kuye. Wena ukwenza lokho. Okay, just from your heart.
Yes.
Wow. Message for uzayo wonke ukuthi the way ongakhona ushodaphi or mele ugcine kuphi or mele sikhathe kuphi.
Okay. I'm not. That's why I was talking the last time. But I'm not too sure what I'm qualified to speak for Zion as a whole because of I'm still young and I'm because my focus has always been SLM. SLM has been in Konzole, Hamilana Yodwa. They used to have a lot of branches done. Okay, apparently cool, but the one thing that I have spoken about to most of our branches with Salema, is that I saw the neglect of our kids, especially the ages of 13 to 29. Most of those kids, they don't have, like as a young, we don't have as many doctors, we don't have as many lawyers, we don't have a lot of graduates. We've got a very high unemployment. I know the system itself of our government system doesn't absorb as many black child as it should. So there's a percentage that it absorbs in terms of our communities. However, I feel our kids our righteous kids, the kids that actually go to church every Sunday, they should have a better stake in that. Because remember, out there, they don't really care what we are sold. What they care about is, can you do the job?
Yes.
So, if we can also, as an organization, not only focus only on the morals of our kids, but also focus on the skills of our kids for the future, so that we can have good kids with good morals, highly competitive out there to do good lives for themselves. Abantwana singahlala abantwana abathandazela imisebenzi. Sibe nabantwana aba-creator imisebenzi out there. Young businessmen, young doctors. Yeah. Right now we don't have a unemployed doctor. I haven't seen one. So if we're creating doctors, then we would have the highest employment rate as I know. That's my wish for Inkonzo Society, is that I wish they can create good quality kids. We can provide professionals.
Yes.
You understand? If we can create as much professionals as scholar at young age, not only preach the gospel, but also preach the gospel of being educated and become a professional in whatever that you're doing.
Wow. I think umuntu ozoyibukela le interview, especially this part, usibheka wena nebandla lakho ukuthi kulabantwana labo ngoba asho ukuthi kulabantwana aba-13 years until 29 or 30 years benzani, inkonzo yenzani, contribute kanjani laba bantwana labo, ibabhekelela kanjani abantwana, because if uthatha ukubheka yileyo age leyo vele emoshakalayo empilweni, yilabantwana labo kumele kahle kahle nibamonithe ezibandla. Siyabonga. Your message for generally
Generally, I would say this. I even told my friend the last time, Uguti, if you are a parent, in fact, bakhona abanye abantu abangazi qualify as parents because they've got kids but they don't take care of them. So that's why I'm saying, as the day you are a parent now. If you are a parent, the one biggest thing that you should do is choose the right church for abantwana bakho, and go to church for the sake of the generation that is following you, because abantwana bakho, they're exactly that. That's your next generation, because those are your kids. So that's your next generation. So if you want your next generation to be better, make sure that abantwana, they are in a good church. I'm not gonna say any church. I'm saying a good church. That is why you must also now, as a parent, look for qualities that you actually want in a church.
Wow.
So where you can place your kids and make sure that your kids grow up in that environment, so that your kids can become good people, because that's important. Why I'm saying this about the church, I have seen kids that that are educated professionals, but they don't have the church in them. Like Bunkonzo is not built in them. And I found out not all of them, of course, but most of them are bayisa. You find the kids have got money, they are all over the show at Sugu, they are drinking, they are driving. Good professionals get killed in road accidents at Sugu. We would find a boy who was just a nice engineer, went out with his friends, they got drunk at night, drinking and driving, and then the next thing they got involved in an accident, their boy is dead. The professional has just went down the drain. So that's why I'm saying I would love this thing to grow more than anything, so that abantwana can have good morals. And good morals, with a good professional out there, it breeds a better future for the kids. Because even though abantwana, they can be good professionals out there, if the morals are questionable, the future abantwana iyamoshe.
Wow. I think Basvik, Basazos. No, thank you. So, figure any question sengizovala nje. Kufika le question le ka Uncle. Lo wenza na yilo. Actually that azange kubuza ukuthi and as a family bangakanani like i-household yonke nje i-family yakho ingakanani?
Yo,
it's a big family or
yeah, i-family as much as mina I'm not too close with the other families zasekhaya because umkhulu ubaba kamkhulu
yes
wayenesithembu, so sinabomkhulu abaningi
abaphuma kuleso sithembu
abaphuma kuleso sithembu yes. So thina sile generation le is 3 from lapho, so I'm not too close nabantwana laba abanye babo umkhulu laba abanye. I'm close kakhulu nabantwana bakamkhulu wami uNdebuzibomvu. uNdebuzibomvu ke abantwana abayi-10
yo,
and then abantwana bakhe nabo bebashaya ngabo 10
yes,
so we quite a big family njengakithi nje kumama msi7 ezona ekhaya bebayi-10 or 12 something like that. So we go well bakhona nabantwana abancane, but ke that's how big the family is. Laba abazukulu bese kuphinde kube nabantwana babazukulu futhi. So we're quite a big family, but we're very close as a family yasekhaya eSinawana. And then ke bwami then ke mina ngavele ngaba nabantwana bayi-2 actually.
But yenzeka lento leyo ukuthi manje baningi efamily vele uthi wena ayi ngibonile into ezenzeka efamily so ngifuna abantwana abancane yenzeka lento leyo.
Nami.
Oh, ufuna abantwana abaningi.
Unfortunately, it's not a solo sport. So my wife was happy with 2 kids, and well, there was that agreement that we had that I don't know about. She still says, but I'm 2 well. So actually we have 2 kids.
Yeah. Did you solve ama differences? No. Again, was a shop.
Of course we did. That's why I went back. As family, obviously we always have small differences. I left for about 4 months and then I went back. So I stood with them throughout after that. Till today, I'm still working with the other uncle, but the other one passed on 2005. My Manumpeg passed on 2005. Till today, we're very close. Wow. We work together in anything that he feels like we should work together on. So we've always been close, and there's a lot that I learned from them. To date, my success is actually built around them. Yeah.
Wow. All right, my last question. What do you want to be remembered as? So hambile emhlabeni or so khona sokudondolozela. Yeah, masicabanga wena sikhumbuleni, ufisa nje sikhumbuleni.
The biggest dream that I have is to have as many graduates as possible. Graduates, professionals, from Esontweni and from Ekhaya. So what I want to be remembered as noma sengidondolozela noma seningasekho uqosha indlala emndenini emakhaya enkonzweni. I want when people are actually living their good life in their families to think about me. I changed that because that is my biggest driver. Is that I don't want to see one kid going to bed without food. I want every family to have enough to help others.
Wow. No, thank you very much. Thank you
Yeah.
very much. I think ngithinte lesandla mhlawumbe nami ngizoba nakho konke engikufisayo. God bless you.
Ngiyabonga.
God bless you. Nokuthatha nje isikhathi sakho uze kule podcast Pepe Nyoka podcast. Thank you.
Ngibonga kakhulu mfowethu. Ngibonga kakhulu.
Let's hope ke ukuthi mase inkonzo seyidecidile ukuthi yakordaina
Yes.
and the podcast izoba khona.
Definitely. I would love that with all my heart.
Thank you. Siyabonga.
Bonga mina mfowethu.